Disney's gonna ban me for this one. My corn dog is still intact. I'm not happy about that, but sadly it takes a long time to turn a corn dog into a inverted corn dog.
You know, y'all, I think I have finally seen it all. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Dave, and like usual, I have no words for this one. I wasn't very familiar with this Lily Tino character until recently, and was blown away by how big of a following that she has on TikTok. And again, I know this whole transgender issue is one that causes a lot of division. I don't understand why. You know, we all have our own opinions. Some people are for abortion, some are against abortion, some are for guns, some are against guns, some are believe that if you're whatever you were born, that's what you are, no matter how much you try to cut things off and get people to label you, something different than what you were born. We all have our opinions about these different subjects, and this is just to name a few. But I came across this video of this Lily Tino person at a Disney theme park, and I'm sure probably many of you have seen this so far, but I'm sure some of you haven't. But check this out.
I am not, sir.
No, you're man.
Do you want to say that to the camera? Hundreds and hundreds of people watching you?
Me right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no.
No, go ahead. You just called me a man. Don't be a coward. Don't be a coward. Yeah, you're a coward. Come on over. Say what you got to say to me. Oh, you don't want to call me a man to my face? Come on over. What do you got to say? What do you got to say about transgender people?
I didn't know you were trans.
Yeah, go ahead.
You didn't know you was trans.
Go ahead.
I did not know this man was trans. Wait, what do you go by? What do you go by?
Does it matter?
It does, because I'm asking you.
Say what you got to say. There's a lot of people watching you.
The real question is, it doesn't matter if you're transgender or not. Are you with the people that march and be like, we're coming for your kids? That's where it's bad. That's when it gets bad. Oh, you need to stay up.
What's your name?
Me? I'm K.
K?
K.
K-A-Y?
K-A-Y.
Okay, and what's your name?
I don't have to give you any of mine from
You certainly don't. What's your
My
name?
name's JJ, and is y'all thing a cult? It's like LGBTTL cult or something?
Can I ask why you didn't step in? While you were standing and watching, they called me a pedophile. They were verbally harassing me.
I didn't hear him call you that. I didn't know. I honestly had no idea what conversation.
So as always, I want to know what you all's thoughts are on this. Some of you may be hesitant to put where you stand on this issue. If you agree with the fact that this person is identifying as a woman when they clearly born a man, and I'm going to try as be as sensitive as I can, although I don't agree with this lifestyle. I believe that whatever you were born, that's what you are. I don't care how much you try to cut things off or you try to tell people to call you he when you're a she or she when you're a he. I'm sorry, it's common sense. And to me, I think there's something mentally wrong when you see yourself this way. But before I get back to the video, let me just go a little bit deeper with this subject. I understand that a lot of people that think they were born in the wrong body, you have to go way back early into their childhood. Most kids don't know what they are. Okay, it's usually formed by their peers. Their mom and dad are showing them, hey, you're a little boy, you wear pants. You're a little girl, you wear dresses. There's all these experiences. They go to school, their friend. There's all these experiences that play a part in it. But what a lot of people don't like to talk about is the fact that I guarantee you, and I can't say for a fact, that this Lily Tino person was probably molested or groomed or something along those lines by another man when he was a child. And see, a lot of times people don't even remember the trauma, and they grow up thinking like, why do I have these feelings towards men? They don't even realize that somehow Satan weaved his way right in there with these evil people doing these things to children, and a lot of the children grow up confused. Not to mention fathers not being in the home. There's so many factors. It's not just that, oh, I feel I was born in a different body. That's not truth. I've been alive long enough where I know the majority of these cases has to do with some childhood trauma or some childhood experience that has caused this person to believe that he was born a girl when he was actually born a boy, or vice versa. God doesn't make mistakes, and I'm not going to apologize for it. But the crazy thing is it gets even worse when he goes to Disney World. I could not believe what he did at Disney World, or Disneyland, one of them.
I have been misgendered 3 times in the past 24 hours at restaurants. Last night, I was at Benihana with my girlfriend, and the server said, "What about you, sir? What would you like to eat?" My girlfriend, God bless her heart, steps in, says, "Actually, that's ma'am." And she looks at my girlfriend and didn't really understand what had happened and said, "No, I'm talking to him," pointing at me. Our jaws were on the floor, and we decided to leave because it was just a bad vibe after that. And just a few minutes ago, I was at another restaurant for lunch, and they showed me my seat and said, "Here you go, sir." And I said, "I am not a sir." And then I left because I wasn't comfortable anymore. And I went to a new restaurant, and I asked, "Before I sit down, where's the bathroom, please?" And they said, "Oh, it's right this way, sir." And I just left because I wasn't comfortable anymore. If you're a server in the food industry, you don't need to use words like sir or ma'am. There are ways to be respectful without using those words. And if you get it wrong for someone like me, I will probably leave the restaurant. And it puts like a bad vibe on my day when it happens, especially when it happens 3 times in a row.
We just have to move you to a smaller table.
Okay.
Are you having lunch with us today? Okay. So I can move you over here, then the server will get you started in a few minutes.
Okay, are all of these taken?
Yeah, the bigger tables have to be open because we have a lot of reservations today.
Okay,
so we can
what
put you
time?
in a smaller they're all different times, so we're about to set up this section for a party that's coming in.
Oh, okay.
So
What time do you think they'll come in? Just because it'll probably be pretty loud, I would imagine, right?
I'm not sure.
Okay, I just don't want to set up at a table if it's going to get loud in like 30 minutes. Maybe
It'll be loud everywhere in the cafe.
Okay.
Yeah. But so would you like to still sit and eat? Because I can move you over here.
Just so I know, like, when do you think like this will be popping, I guess? Because it's like
We're
empty
about
now,
to hit
so.
our lunch rush right now. And we have a lot of reservation. It's the holiday. People are on break, so we expect to be busy all day.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I can move you over here. It's probably going to be the quietest right now.
Okay. I think I'll probably just leave.
Okay.
It's completely empty in here, by the way. Like, completely empty. Someone sat me here and I was like, "Can I take the bigger table?" And they're like, "Yeah, absolutely." I'm pretty sure she just kicked me out because she didn't like me or something. Lots of reservations, they say. Lots of reservations. When are the reservations? Oh, I don't know when the reservations are, but you can't be here, basically. Do you want to move to like a small table that is bad lighting? And even though we already told you could sit.
So let's unpack this. So in being fair to this Lily Tino person, I truly believe that this restaurant manager or server was singling him or her out. I do believe that. I believe that there's a little bit of bias there. I mean, I could see it just sitting here watching the video. I mean, I'm looking at the camera. There's nobody in there. You know what I mean? Not to mention another server sat him there. Let me get you guys' take on this before we go into the whole Disney thing that's going to probably blow your mind. If you want to live in a world, now this is just my opinion. So if you want to live in a world where you see yourself in a way that you truly aren't, okay? Again, as a Christian man, God does not make mistakes. If you were born with male chromosomes and genes, you are male. If you were born with female chromosomes and genes, you are a female. If you get your genitalia sliced off or something sewn on because you want to identify as that, in my opinion, it's no different than your kid that says, "I think I'm a Furby," or "I think I'm a cat," and they want to go get surgery and take off a tail of a cat and have it surgically implanted right above their rear end. That's not normal. And if these people want to continue living in a way that's not normal, like having litter boxes and eating like a cat eats on the floor, most sane people would say, let them go to a community where that's where everybody in that community or that city, that's how they live. Now, I'm not saying, first let me go back. Let me be clear. I am not against anybody in this world that claims that they want to live a different lifestyle other than me. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're, we'll just say LGBTQ. I don't care. You know, I love you just as much as I love the next guy. The problem that I have is my beliefs and the way I believe things. I don't agree with the lifestyle. You know, I can love the sinner, but I don't have to love the sin. And it's no different than my friend that I may have that I know cheats on his wife. I still love him, but he's still an adulterer. You see what I'm saying? We have to get to the point where we call a thing and quit trying to sugarcoat it and act like it's not real. Because the bottom line is one day we're all going to die. Nobody's getting out of here alive. And whether you believe in a God or not, you are going to have to face him. Every knee will bow, every tongue will confess that Jesus Christ is Lord. And I'm not trying to make this a biblical video. I'm just trying to point out some facts because a lot of people are unclear on this. They are lost, you know, and it's sad, you know, but my personal opinion is, like I said, I don't hate this Lily Tino. I feel sorry for them because I can almost guarantee that something happened in their childhood that led them down this path. I can't tell you how many testimonies I've heard from people that identify as gay, and they can tell you situations where, you know, my neighborhood friend babysitted me. He was 14, I was 5. My mom left me with him and he molested me. You know, you hear these stories time after time after time. So explain to me why, if you're born a male, you would feel these type of impulses. Like, where does that come from? Nobody investigates that. It comes from somewhere. Okay, I don't believe it just happens. You just wake up one day and say, you know what, this thing hanging between my legs doesn't look normal. I think I want to, you know, get rid of it. That's not normal. I'm sorry, y'all. You got to call a thing a thing. But again, people like this, I don't care if you're wanting to be a Furby. I don't care if you're wanting to be a vampire. I don't care if you're wanting to be a dog, if you're wanting to be a monster. There are so many Superman, Tarzan, Power Rangers, Transformers, no matter what it is you want to be, you can be that. But the bottom line is, I don't think it's fair to want the rest of society to fall in line with what you believe, if that makes any sense. He's upset because he goes in a restaurant and the server can clearly look at him. You can clearly look at this person and see this is a man. Okay, features, draw lines, the way he talks, but he gets upset because you won't identify him the way he wants to be identified with. And I've never agreed with this. I'm sorry that you're offended, but nobody told you to try to pass off as something other than what you were born with. I don't care how much you try to normalize this, it is not normal. So now let's segue into this last section. Let's check it out.
I think Disney's going to ban me for this one. My corn dog is still intact. I'm not happy about that, but sadly it takes a long time to turn a corn dog into a inverted corn dog. I do hair removal every week for 2 hours straight. It is not fun or easy.
That is because you were born a man.
Here, they are going to take my corn dog. These ears do not want to stay on. They are going to cut it down the middle. This is not the best knife for this. They will then take off the outer lining of the corn dog. Okay, I'm actually impressed that I'm doing this good of a job. Like so. Flip it inside out and make something of a tunnel. This tunnel will then become, well, you know, my hands are disgusting. Now you might be asking why I would do this or why anyone would do this. It sounds not fun. And I agree with you. I'm not looking forward to that recovery process. But know that this is not a decision that any of us take lightly. Our corn dogs do serve a purpose, but at the end of the day, I just don't like having it. It's not me. I look at it in the mirror and it's like, ugh, can we do something about that? And it turns out we can. But until then, I am making the most of my final days with my corn dog. Farewell to this thing that has served me not very well, but is what I was born with. It did its duty. R.I.P.
Well, that's pretty interesting. He even admitted it himself. He said that's what he was born with. Case closed. Kick the ball. Score. We're done. He said it himself. And honestly, I think Disney would probably applaud you just based on what I know about Disney. I'm going to leave that right there. You can figure it out yourself. But the bottom line is, even watching him do this to a corn dog kind of grossed me out. But here's the craziness. You have to go through all these hoops, surgery. I mean, think about that. Men, you might want to close your ears because just the thought of even thinking about doing this, men that want to try to identify as a man, can you imagine slicing it down the center and taking off the outer layer and trying to make a tunnel so that you have like an opening like a woman? But here's the question I have. Where's all the nerve endings that a normal woman would feel? You see what I'm saying? It's like these people are trying to play God. I don't care. You will never be a woman because you have a surgery where they can kind of manipulate it and make it at least appear that you're a woman. You'll never have a period. You'll never have all the inner workings like a uterus and all the things, fallopian tubes, all the things that women have, the cramps, everything that a woman has, you will never have. I don't care how much surgery they try to do. Again, in a nutshell, it's not normal. And we all need to be praying for this Lily Tino or whatever. And I'll give her the courtesy, whatever her name is. But the bottom line is we live in a sad, sinful, fallen world that needs Jesus Christ. And people like this need Jesus Christ. You know, don't hate on people like this that feel this way, that live their lives this way, because God loves them just as much as he loves you. And he wants them to spend eternity just as much as the guy over there is sleeping with a different woman every other night. You know, sin is sin in God's eyes. And I just have to leave that right there. So again, drop your comments, your thoughts in the comments section. I'm a big boy. I can handle it. Also, make sure you like this video. Also, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. And as always, I love you guys, and I will check you on the next one. Later.